Hello friends, this is stock radio of base variant of Nissan Altima 2013 model. I have replaced my base model Altima radio with the middle option SV variant Altima radio. Although almost all wires and connectors are same, I connected it with some changes. The base model has a dummy plate on the right side of the steering wheel control, so it is not possible to make or receive calls or turn up and down the volume and more. So today we are going to fit the steering controls of the Altima SV model. Also, the mics comes in the bracket on the roof and I have already routed the mic. Now we can only connect the steering control to access the mic. To fix the steering control, the steering wheels need to be completely removed. So this video shows how to remove steering airbag and steering wheel. The same steering column and switch are used in the 5th generation of Altima as well as xtrail and Rogue and some more different variant of Nissan models. I arranged the original SV model steering switches from the used market. Proceed with the next steps very carefully as the steering airbag is removed. I am doing all this by following the company CSM and so many YouTube other useful videos. First, remove the positive and negative terminal of the battery and keep it for at least 15 minutes. This tool must be used to remove steering wheel, its steering puller. Never remove the steering, use it shake and pull it by hand. Make sure the battery terminals are both removed and covered with plastic. It's been about 15 minutes now. Push a flat screwdriver through this hole on the right and left side of the steering and a clip will release. First of all, there are many limitations in my video. I am shooting the video with my left hand, so I am not able to capture the live sequence it correctly, sorry. Now the airbag has been released. The right and left two clips are connected to one clip below. Carefully lift the black protective cover of the main connector with pick tool, then remove the yellow connector with a plastic trim remover tool. Also remove horn connector. Never try to remove the yellow connector without lift the black protective cover. Remove with extreme care. Never damage the connector by rough removal way. This is kind of one of the reasons why we have to discharge the electrical system, because you don't want to take a risk of any kind of electrostatic shock, because that might deploy the airbag and you don't want to do that because the airbag come out at 321 km/h. Now we have removed the airbag from the steering wheel and very carefully put in a place where there is no other sharp object or maybe some collision or something else sparking in the middle of the stuff. This is the clip that pushed that flat screwdriver while the airbag removed. Now the steering wheel need to be removed, and before that make a mark on the bolt connected to the steering as well as on the frame. Now remove the steering wheel control connector. Also mark the steering wheel frame and 19mm bolt and nut. Remove with 90mm socket by hand. Never use electrical or other cordless tools and applications. The 19mm nut is removed. Here we can see the factory marked alignment on the frame as well as the bolt. Use with steering wheel puller to remove wheel. It has three 10mm bolts with different threads. Use whichever one suit your best. So Altima suitable with the narrowest bolt. After the puller is correctly installed like this, tighten the 10mm bolt on both sides in the same ratio, at least a few more threads. Now tighten the 60mm black bolt in the middle clockwise, then steering wheel eject. Remove the steering puller with reverse order. Carefully remove the airbag main cable from the holding clip and then remove the steering wheel slowly. Now we need to swipe the steering wheel control. Here you can see that the steering wheel control switch connector on the SV variant is the same as the base model, and both are 8-hole connectors. Just slowly pull and remove the back wheel cover. Remove this 4 screw with Phillips star screwdriver. After remove the screws, just push and lift control switch slowly. Do not more force and do not break the retainer plastic holder. Remove the existing control as the same way. Note the removed switch and fix it very nicely like this without breaking any of the clips and mounted control switch. It is very important that the cable of the control switch is properly looped in the correct holder on the steering wheel. Make sure the cable is not sticking out of the holder. We have fitted the steering wheel control switch very nicely. Now back to fix a rear plastic panel. Route the airbag cable through the same hole and connect it to the steering wheel. Do not, under any circumstances, route the airbag cable through the different hole in the steering wheel. That is the big mistake, and take the clear picture while removing the steering wheel to avoid big mistake. Keep the steering wheel in the correct lane marked. Back to the connect the control connector on the same way. After put the steering alignment, tighten the 19mm bolts and torque is 25 foot-pounds. Now back to connect horn and airbag connector as reverse order. Now place the airbag unit correctly in the central part of the steering wheel and then simply press it and make sure the airbag unit spring lock is connected to the sound. Back to connect the battery positive and negative terminal properly without loose. Turn on the engine, make sure any sign in the dash. Check all the control switches are working. Here source button, next, previous, volume up and down, and all are working fine. The base model S variant does not have a cruise control, so none of those buttons work. The two buttons which are most important to me are call receiving as well as make call, and both are working perfectly. Another interesting thing about this is that many people will ask why not just replace the OEM radio with an Android aftermarket stereo. A very simple answer to that is that from my practical experience, OEM radio has 5 times higher mic quality than aftermarket Android unit. In general, most of Android aftermarket stereos comes with a built-in mic that never balance to deliver voice quality when you are calling to other people, but OEM dedicated mic with mounted correct place. I said this is not about that the branded company Android unit producing, but the coming unbranded, as there are many different names in the market. So all options are working good. So we need to back to place the mic in the factory installation point on the overhead of console unit. Just use plastic removal tool and slowly pull the clips and place the mic. Thank you for watching the video.